Are you a new business owner who's trying to grow a business on YouTube? Are you stuck with how to turn your experience and your knowledge into compelling content? Well, I got you because I'm doing it too. I took my previous YouTube channel and I turned it into a six-figure consultancy, but I never had to be a personal brand to do it. But things are different in 2025. Maybe you just left your 9 to 5, or you're thinking of leaving your 9 to 5 to focus on your new online business. You have experience, you have knowledge, you have passion, but getting on camera and talking about yourself is the bad place. But the truth is, there has never been a better time to build a personal brand on YouTube. The creator economy is worth $480 billion. That is billion with a B. But times are different now. If you want to build an online business in 2025, you need to build trust. And YouTube is the best platform to do that. But you're gonna need to lean into your personal storytelling. And if that is awkward for you, don't worry about it, because I've got a plan. Hi, I'm Darren. I'm a Writers Guild Award-winning creator and producer who got her start right here on YouTube. And now I want to help creators and coaches and entrepreneurs become strategic storytellers so you can build a brand that people want to binge. Because the best way to grow on YouTube in 2025, according to YouTube itself, is to get people to binge. So how do you do that? YouTube is the #1 TV streaming service and also the #2 search engine. So that makes it different than any other platform out there. One reason it's different is that people watch long form videos here. And according to Google, it takes 7 hours, 11 touch points across 4 different platforms to make a single sale. So short form content isn't really gonna get it done. But if you think like a TV showrunner and you build a channel that has a narrative that people want to binge, you're gonna get there a lot faster. If you are growing a business on YouTube, you don't need to go viral anymore. You need 1 person to binge, then 2 people to binge, then 3 people to binge. You need a storytelling system, a strategy that helps you position yourself as a compelling leading character, builds trust and emotional connection with your audience, creates content that people want to binge, and puts a repeatable content system in place so you don't burn out. So how do you do that? Well, I'm that bossy girl in the office that organizes everything, so I've organized it all for you. Think of me as your pocket producer. I am Holly Hunter in broadcast news. I'm on the headset and I'm giving you all of the storytelling tools so that you can be successful on camera. So how do you position yourself as a compelling leading character? Authenticity is winning against polish right now. Authenticity, vulnerability, and emotional stakes are what people are craving from human creators right now. Maybe you're someone like me and you always put other people's needs first, whether it's your boss or it's your kids or it's your significant other. You put their needs first and you're not someone who is typically talking about yourself. You are the person who delivers for others, but you're not always the leading character in your own life. Well, this is going to be a little bit uncomfortable for you, but we can do it. The crazy thing is, I'm a content producer and a content strategist professionally. I've worked with some of the biggest media companies, NBC Universal, AOL, PBS, Sony Music, and I've won a lot of awards for my storytelling, but I never wanted to be an influencer. Maybe you relate to that. I can produce, but be a personality with a narrative who talks about herself. Very painful to me. That is the bad place to me, because you can help so many people with your videos and your coaching business, but you're going to have to talk about yourself. And that may feel completely foreign to you. You don't need to be the Truman Show and overshare, but we need to think strategically about what makes you unique and interesting. So let's gather all of your story elements. These story elements are your backstory, your unique selling proposition, and your life experience. That's it. If you have all those three aspects fleshed out, you can create what I call main character energy. Your backstory is what builds emotional connection and credibility. Now, if you don't have a backstory, don't worry about it, because as the bossy girl in the office, I have a framework for that. I have a video on my channel that walks you through a 5-step system to develop your backstory. It even comes with a free workbook so you could type your answers right in there. It's just 5 questions that you need to ask yourself to be able to put together a short backstory that you can use in your intro, you can use in your about description, you can use on your website, you can use in your social media, on your social media pages. If that is something that you need, the link will be in my video description, so check that out after this video is over. The next component is your unique selling proposition. This is all about laying the urgency and differentiating yourself. It is different than your offer. Your offer is your actual product or service. Your unique selling proposition is what makes that unique. Now again, as the bossy girl in the office, I have a framework for that. It's called the Angle framework. And I have a video on my channel that breaks that down for you as well. So that's another one that I'll have in my description. In fact, you could just go to the playlist that I have called Start Your Story, and you will get all of these videos and more, and you can watch them. So once you go through the Angle method to come up with your unique selling proposition, you're gonna have some nifty signature phrase. My signature phrase on my channel is think like a showrunner. I'm using my background as a digital showrunner, as a content producer that's worked with media brands to help you create and structure your content like a show that people want to binge. That's what makes me unique, and we need to figure out what makes you unique. And that is where we shift to focusing on building trust and connection through your narrative. So now we have your backstory, your unique selling proposition, and we have mined from all of your life experience to find these human and authentic stories that you can share to establish some emotional stakes and vulnerability. So now we need to focus on your channel narrative, and that is super easy because you can just pick from one of these 4 channel narratives that work consistently on YouTube. Being in a life transition. So if you are in a life transition and you're willing to share that with someone who's maybe a couple steps behind you, that is a channel narrative that works again and again on YouTube. People get very invested in your story. So if that's something you're comfortable with, then that's a great one. The next one is battling an antagonist, and this is a shared antagonist that you have with your viewer. Maybe it's an industry challenge, maybe it's a physical challenge like losing weight or getting healthier. Maybe it's a mental health challenge. It is a narrative that has a lot of emotional stakes in it, so it makes really, really, really good storytelling. The third one is solving a mystery. This is a great channel narrative if you're someone who likes to investigate things or go on deep dives, and your channel is less about your own personal story, but it's more about your curiosity for this one thing, this one subject, this one topic, and your viewers' shared interest in that same topic. So this also makes for really, really fantastic storytelling. The next one is being on a mission, and this one works the best if you have been through something in your life in the past, you're on the other end of it, but you've been through it and you have this passion to help people who are currently going through that thing that you have come to the other side of. And that can also make really, really powerful storytelling and a very, very strong connection. So now we've gathered your story elements, we put a channel narrative in place, and now we want to put repeatable content systems in place so that you can do this without burning out, right? There are 2 ways to do that. The first way to do that is to develop content pillars. If we were making a television show, this would be our A storyline, our B storyline, and our C storyline. I like to think of your A, B, and C storylines as your growth, depth, and evergreen content. Growth content is exactly what it sounds like. It's about growing. It's about tapping into current trends and optimizing your content for growth. These are topics that you have validated that there is interest in. There is an audience that is interested in these particular topics, whether you're using AI tools to help you with that, or whether you're doing manual research on YouTube, you have validated that there is an audience on YouTube for this content and you're trying to tap into that audience. These are growth videos. Then you have your evergreen content. Now, some of these videos might go viral. I mean, it's possible, but that isn't the intention. The intention is to have a library of videos that people can discover through search. This is something strategically for me that I spent the last 2 months really building out. I have a library on this channel of evergreen content. So you'll notice in this video, I talked about a lot of videos on this channel that you can watch. Those are all my evergreen content and it allows you to binge. And then you have depth videos. These videos may have the smallest audience of all of your videos, but they are the most invested audience. They are the audience that will probably become your client. This strategy lines right up with changes that YouTube just made within your YouTube Studio interface. If you go into your YouTube analytics, and I'm going into it right now, and you toggle to the audience tab, and then you click on see more, and you're now in advanced mode. And then you look over on the left-hand side and you see something that says chart options, and then it says segments, and it's by default set to all. Well, if you open that up, pop that open, you'll see that you've got all subscribers and new, casual, and regular viewers. These are 3 different ways that you can break your viewers down. So if I click on that, I can see my audience breakdown by watch behavior. Again, YouTube telling you watch behavior is incredibly important. So your new viewers are the ones that are maybe coming in through your growth videos. They may be coming in through other videos, but the purpose of your growth videos is to try to get new viewers. Then you have casual viewers. These are viewers that maybe don't watch every single one of your videos, but they have watched more than one video of yours. And then you have your regular viewers. These are people that maybe found you through a growth video and now they're watching your evergreen content because now that content is popping up in their feed, and so they're watching more than one video of yours. And if they keep watching, if they start binging, which is what you want, then they become regular viewers. The second way that you can do this is by creating a signature series. So if that's something that's interesting to you, you're in the right place because episodic storytelling is my bag. It's my expertise. So I have created a whole series that walks you through all the foundations of creating your own signature series like a TV showrunner. The first episode is popping up on the screen right now. So I would click on that. Until next time, keep creating and keep thinking like a showrunner.